Welcome back to the Grit Show's limited series, documenting the events of Homefinding Services Kent and trying to dig a little deeper into them. Today we have our first ever communication with Brian and some special guests from other pages similar to Homefinding Services Kent. Once again, me and Homefinding Services have been in communication through email, and here's the questions that I asked them most recently. Evening, Derek. Long time no talk. I've got some more questions for you, plus a little extra proposition you may be interested in. Firstly, how do you deal with all of the things that occur in the office that may disrupt workflow or your own mental state? For instance, what recently occurred on the 249th floor, as well as all the other losses occurring recently. For those who don't know about what happened on the 249th floor, this is the relevant post. The response was as follows. Derek's taken ill and taking a snooze at his desk, so I'm going to try my best to give you all the answers this week. This is Brian. The Homefinding offices operate on a complex hierarchy system. Floor 249 is just one brick in the whole scheme of things. As for our mental state, I think Derek is convinced he's used to it, although the way we lead our lives says otherwise. The losses don't really affect the business, since there's no shortage of workers coming from the local council estate. Second, do you ever wonder what you could have made of your life had you not been brought here? As for what I would have done with my life, I think about it every day, but I try not to let it seep into my work. The man upstairs says it's unhealthy to dwell on fantasy. Third, have you ever hired anyone from a group of explorers, who you refer to as vermin, who are scattered around the office? Surprisingly enough, we recently devised a plan to hire all these people infesting our building by hiring them involuntarily. As soon as we find them, we send them down to work with the boys downstairs. It's what has led to the foul stench in the IT room. Too many working bodies crammed inside. Congratulations to the man upstairs, Derek, Brian, and the rest of the Homefinding Services team for hitting 10,000 likes on the Facebook page. That is absolutely impressive. I wish I... Do I? Probably not. Moving on. Anyway, I should get back up to my stairs before the man upstairs gets livid again. See you, mate. Brian Bentley, lead plumber at Homefinding Services. It was great talking to you, Brian, and I hope we can speak again sometime. So a few weeks ago, on one of my update videos for Homefinding Services, I said that I'd be getting in touch with some of the other pages that are similar to Homefinding Services, and I did, but I'm going to keep it reasonably short. I have asked some basic questions to some of these pages, and here are the responses. Now I will warn you, not all of these pages stay in character to quite the same extent that Homefinding Services does, if it even is a character. The first of these pages is Blackpool Abnormal Removal Services. I said, "Hi, I've covered pages similar to this one, and I was wondering if you'd be willing to answer some questions." They responded,
"Please hold while we summon a secretary to take your call. If you're calling about a person named Karen, please press 1 immediately, as this is of utmost importance."
What questions might you have? For now, questions about the general nature of this page, its creation, and its mode of operation. Go on. Here's the first ones. How long have you been running the page for?
A few months.
What is the function of this page?
The function of the page is to document the strange goings-on in the world. Just ask if you'd like the serious answer.
Is the page run by one person/entity, or are there multiple people running it?
There are many entities and beings that work for us, however only around 4 or 5 people run the online presence.
Do you give permission for your responses to be featured in a YouTube video covering these pages?
You have a permission as long as our name is included.
I asked for the serious answer, just for curiosity's sake, and they said,
"The page is a sort of in-character page. Essentially, our posts are just a bit of fun, pretending as though we live in a world where random occurrences are commonplace. It's similar to pages such as Homefinding Services Kent."
I'd be very interested in asking them more questions about their page, and perhaps I will, and you'll see that in a later video.
But for now, that's all I've asked of Blackpool Abnormal Removal Services. It's interesting that they directly referenced Homefinding Services Kent. The next page was Anomaly Removal Agency, which is a very interesting page in my opinion because it directly references the SCP Foundation in its banner and various posts. It's also very similar in layout and format to the SCP Foundation. I asked them if I could ask them some questions. Here we go. How long has the page been running for?
About 4 months.
What is the function of the page?
Being a private anomaly retrieval service set in the SCP universe.
3. Is the page run by one person/entity, or are there multiple people running it?
We are 3 now, but I am the only one active right now.
Do you give permission for your responses to be used in a YouTube video covering these pages?
Go ahead.
I felt that one was not quite what I expected. I was expecting these guys to sort of give me a bit more detail considering that they're based on the SCP Foundation, and maybe it was just wishful thinking because obviously my YouTube channel does have a lot of SCP content on it, so does my Twitch channel. Be sure to visit that. But I'll be sure to be asking Anomaly Retrieval Agency some more questions in the future. Next up was a popular one, Tenbury Wells Imprisonment Services. This one's different because instead of being about just random things, it's more based around a prison-themed environment. I asked if I could ask some questions. They said,
Fire away, mate.
I asked, how long has the page been running for?
Pretty much since September of last year.
Second, what is the function of this page?
We were inspired by Homefinding Services Kent and wanted to shitpost our own theme of cursed images.
3. Is the page run by one person/entity, or are there multiple people running it?
Multiple entities. We're 5 British guys, none of us from Tenbury, and the page started to die, so now some kid from America does most of the posts. Trying to use British slang. We've trained him up on it.
4. Do you give permission for your responses to be used in a YouTube video?
Yeah, of course.
We can also give shitpost/in-character answers if that's more fun for you to quote. Maybe in future. Maybe in future. I thought that one was interesting. Those are some of that was weirdly one of the most detailed responses I've gotten. I think it's interesting that they were all British guys and it's based in Britain, but most of the posts are made by an American guy trying to use British slang. I think that actually weirdly might lead to more comedy because they may not fully understand the proper contextual use of the slang. I'll definitely be asking imprisonment services more questions because I want to delve a little deeper into the story behind them. Our final one is another very popular one, Waterloo Region Cryptid Removal. This one was specifically requested for in a previous video's comments, so I hope you enjoy. Once again, I asked if I could ask some questions. They asked about the bit. I've got to come up with a different voice.
About the business?
Yes, if you don't mind.
Certainly.
How long has the page been running for?
The Facebook page has been up since around September of 2018.
Interesting that they all were sort of set up around the same time. What is the function of the page?
The function of the page is to spread awareness about cryptids and our removal business.
Is the page run by one person/entity, or are there multiple people running it?
There are 2 interns running the page.
Do you give permission? You have permission. That one was interesting because that one seemed to be in character, although I can't be entirely sure as they were very short answers. I will definitely be contacting these ones again. Also, I'm probably just going to be contacting the same guys again in future. I'm afraid that's all for this video. Reasonably short one today. I'm sorry if the questions to other pages were a bit underwhelming. I'm just trying to set up a rapport at the moment because I was mostly trying to see which of the pages responded. Several of the pages that I've contacted still haven't responded. I contacted about 10 pages. Only those, 4 or 5? Only those ones responded, I'm afraid. Which is a shame, but what can you do? I'll see you next time, and be sure to keep an eye on this YouTube channel, my Twitter, my Instagram, and the Grith Discord, where I will be posting a special Homefinding Services advertisement. See you on the flippity flop. And I promise there will be more proper content on this channel soon. I'm just trying to get all my affairs in order.